6 years ago, I had 3 Lamborghinis, a helicopter, and a penthouse in Atlanta. Today, I've got a penthouse over the middle of Bangkok and the whole world outside my door. I spend a fraction of what I used to. And everything they told us back in the United States about being rich in life, it's backwards. I gave it all away on purpose. The cars, the helicopter, the mansions. Everybody, they thought I was insane. But I didn't downgrade my life at all. In fact, I upgraded my life. The stuff, the consumerism and everything that they teach you back there, it's not freedom and it's not luxury. You see, true luxury is freedom. Here's the plan that we all got handed. Work as hard as you can, hustle culture, make as much money as you can. Buy the house, the cars, the watch. More is better. Keep climbing. And one day, you'll finally have enough and you'll finally be free. Let me tell you something. That's a lie. The people who actually win at the game are literally the most trapped people that I know. I know because I was one of them. And in the real estate world, I know most of those people personally. They're trapped. Living in America the way we were told, it's a broken plan. And I'm gonna show you 3 things today. The machine that pays for this life, one that you can run from anywhere on earth. The math behind it, which is almost offensive. And why the smartest thing you will ever buy isn't a car or a house, it's your time. Stay with me because that machine is part of a plan that almost nobody ever talks about. If you're new here, my name is Jason, but some people call me Mr. Bangkok. I run a real estate business in the United States while I live 8,000 miles away in Bangkok, Thailand. If that sounds impossible, that's exactly what this video is about. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, and make sure you stay to the end, because the how is the entire point. Let me tell you what nobody talks about when you get a helicopter. Everyone sees the photo, no one sees the bill. That helicopter became a second job for me. The maintenance, the insurance, the storage, the fuel, the endless safety courses that I had to take all the time to be able to fly it. And yeah, I flew it for work and I flew it for fun and I flew it, a handful of times a month. 3 Lamborghinis sitting in the garage, constantly losing value while I worked to pay for the garage. I was the owner of it all, but truly I wasn't the owner of any of it. I was just the caretaker. That stuff owned me. Right there. You see, that's the first lie. We think rich people are free. Past a certain point, the stuff and the freedom become opposites. Every single thing you buy is like a little leash around your neck. I had a whole collection of leashes, and I called it success. But the cars weren't even the real trap. The real trap was where I was standing. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. I was born there. I grew up there. Cold, gray, and one of the most expensive places on earth. But nobody ever teaches you that it's optional to stay where you were born. You're born somewhere, you work somewhere, you die somewhere. And you spend almost everything you make just to afford the somewhere? That's the rule that nobody says out loud. You have to live where you earn. I'm gonna tell you something about that. You see, I grew up in a real estate family. My mom was a real estate broker. And when she was working, she was at her office. It was very location-based back in those days. This is before the internet or anything like that, right? I remember it was so bad that when I was a kid, we couldn't go on a trip to the beach in Florida because if we did, she was effectively out of business for the entire time we were away. You see, and that's what's drilled it into our heads, that we have to stay in one place. But when you do that, you're playing the money game on the most expensive board there is. It's not that you don't make enough. It's that you're spending it in the wrong place. That's what's broken. Work harder to run faster on a treadmill that's tilted against you. And when something finally cracks, and the whole thing opens up for you, whew, I'll let you know it's a surprise. I didn't plan on it. It happened to me completely by accident. It was 2020. The whole world shuts down due to COVID. We used to go to all of our appointments in person back then, and literally within the period of a month, no one wanted us in their house. We rebuilt the entire business model to a virtual model where he did it all on the phone. And all my peers in the business said, it's a huge mistake. You can't lock up deals over the phone. But we learned how to do it. And now, 500 deals later, I can confidently say that it was the best thing that I ever did. But at the end of 2020, I was standing in a cold, empty Atlanta penthouse, and it hits me. I don't actually have to be here. So I asked myself a dangerous question. If I can run this from anywhere, where would I want to go? The beach. You know, I told myself it was just a trip. 30 days in San Juan, Puerto Rico, get some sun, clear my head, come back. I didn't sell anything in Atlanta. I kept my whole Atlanta life waiting for me. But I never went back. I mean, I went back and got my clothes and stuff like that, but I never moved back to Atlanta. 30 days became 6 years and a life on the other side of the planet. And my business, it didn't just survive, it got better. So here's the machine that I promised you at the start of this video. I run a virtual real estate wholesaling business. Whew, that's a mouthful. Here's what it actually means. I find people who need to sell a house. I get that house under contract. I connect it with a buyer who wants to buy it and closes. I never swing a hammer. I never even have to be in the same country. It runs on a phone, a laptop, and a very small team. And it makes American money, real US dollars, on US deals, no matter where I'm standing. Now, stack geography on top of all that. Check this out. My life in Atlanta used to cost me about $20,000 a month. That same life here cost me $2,000 to $4,000. A 5x return. Same income, but 1/5 the cost. That's the part that literally breaks people's brains. I didn't cut my income to get free. I definitely didn't lower my lifestyle, and I didn't win the lottery. I kept the American income, and I moved somewhere where it's worth 5 times more, and I profit in the difference. Not in dollars, but in life and in freedom. But here's what actually surprised me. The money wasn't even the best part. I mean, it was great, but it wasn't the best part. Everyone assumes that leaving America somehow means giving something up. Living small, some sad little minimalist life, or like I'm living in a hostel or like a tin hut or something. No, they also think it's like unsafe or something once you cross over the border to go outside the United States, but it's really the opposite. I live in a penthouse in one of the most exciting cities on earth. Some of the most interesting places in the whole world are an hour flight and $50 away. Vietnam, Japan, Korea, Philippines, Singapore. Food I've never tasted. Cultures I had only seen on a screen. People living in ways that I never knew was possible. In Atlanta, I was collecting stuff. Here, I'm collecting experiences and building a life and memories. And here's the difference that nobody tells you. The stuff, it just sat in a garage. The experiences, I keep them right here in my heart. I traded a garage full of junk for a passport full of life, and it costs less. So there's one last thing that I have to say, and it's the whole reason that I made this video, because the money, the city, the food, the culture, none of that is actually the point. Here's the point. Money, you can always make more of. Lose all of it and you can build it back, and I've done that. But time, you can't make one more second. You can't get a single hour back that you've lost. Every hour that you spend is gone forever. So look at what the broken plan actually asks you to do. It asks you to spend the one thing that you can never get back, which is your time, to buy the things that lose value the second that you own them. I mean, a car depreciates the moment you pull it in your driveway. A bigger house, you're never home to enjoy because you're working all the time. You're trading something permanent for something temporary, and to me, that's like the worst deal on earth. And almost everyone signs up for it. The move is to flip it, build an income that travels, move it somewhere where it's worth more, and use every dollar of that difference to buy back your time. That is the time trade. You stop buying things and you start buying your life back. And you can't tell me that you don't want that. I'm not telling you the Lamborghini is a trap because I couldn't afford one. I had 3. I'm telling you because I had the Lambos and I'd give up all of them again to have what I have now. You get one life. One. It's genuinely insane to spend 90% of it working to buy things that you're too busy to enjoy and doing it in the most expensive place on earth. You don't need permission. You don't need a bigger salary. What you need is an income that travels and the guts to leave the land of the free for the true freedom that you deserve. There's a famous comedian named George Carlin. He's really old. Actually, he's dead. And he said it the best though. He said, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe in it. If you're looking to create that machine that gives you freedom, the business that you can actually run from anywhere, that's the exact thing that I teach inside Virtual Empire. I keep it very small, and it's actually closed, meaning I'm not taking on any new students right now. But if you want to know the next time it opens, get in on the list, go to livefreere.com. Look, there's no pitch. I don't have anything to sell you. In fact, if you go there, I'm going to give you something free that will help you in your journey. I just want to take you on a journey with you and teach you the lessons that I've learned so that you can avoid the pitfalls and get to a quicker path to whatever your goals are. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next time.